Welcome back into episode 9. We're almost at double digits here, Myron.
Almost. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Today we have a guest with us. He's part of the WNC sports department. He is a soccer fanatic, football fanatic.
Among other words.
Hayden, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are.
Hayden still got a flip phone.
You know what? You didn't have to out me like that. You didn't have to out me like that. I guess, hi, my name's Hayden Krzyzanowski. You don't have to say my last name because, frankly, I can't say it half the time. I'm a sophomore. I eat, sleep, breathe soccer. That's all I really talk about here because, as I've been commonly told, learn American sports, you dipwad. So been...
Not the dipwad.
Yeah, that one kind of hurt a little bit, but, soccer's my life, so that's what we work with.
Well, I mean, you're on for a very special occasion.
I'd hope so. Otherwise, that'd be a little awkward.
It's that time of the year.
It is that time of the year. 4 years.
Well,
yeah, how often does this actually happen?
I mean, it happens every 4 years. Fortunately, not the right time of year. Unfortunately.
No, because they changed it. Yeah. We're talking about the World Cup, for you guys don't know. We're talking about the World Cup today, as well as other stuff, NCC sports, like usual, NFL, and as well as our big three, little three segments. But just in general, you're all decked out.
Yeah, I think if it's not obvious, besides that, I'm pretty red, white, and blue today. Without the sweatshirt, but that's for a different reason that I'll explain in a little bit. But
all right,
okay.
USA.
USA just played. We just watched the games. We just finished up. Don't know. We record on Monday, so today is Monday, November 21st. USA
really
just.
21st? Oh my god.
Yeah, it is 21st.
Thanksgiving coming up, boys.
Coming up.
Bring me a plate when you. I was stuck out here.
Oh.
We're going to struggle together while all.
Yes, sir. yellow,
Jake,
green, and
can I see you so you can? I want you to pull this up. See what I'm talking about. Last year, same color.
All right, send me the picture. We'll pull it up. That's what I'm talking about. So let's just get right into it. This is gonna be fun. North Central Corner. Let's start with men's wrestling here, as they place first at the UW Open, the Concordia University of Wisconsin. Boy, going to this tournament, kind of all figured that they would take first. Not to brag or anything, but our wrestling programs are.
I would say this is like that seems just to be down and talked with. How you doing? Hi, Hayden. How you doing? So, we love our program. I remember if Natty, I am switching head. made me chuckle a little bit. Thanks, Joe. You're great.
Yeah, no, this program has been absolutely phenomenal of years. Up ever individual national champion last. And the team also, I believe, third. I believe it was last year. I knew it was top 5.
I think it was third, right?
Yeah. Sounds.
No.
They didn't. They didn't win it.
It came really dang
I think
close.
both of them just finished top 5.
Top 5.
We'll just say that. Be safe with it. Both men's and at least top 5 last year in nationals as a team. This team, again, I think just got better. They're looking to go on and continue to place first at a lot more other events and everything. Right. They absolutely mobbed 5 and did to Wheaton winning 30-9.
Dominating performance there.
It is a dominating.
A lot of guys here like who else is on this team? Jarman Allens. You got Robbie Pearson. Like those household names that you're gonna hear this year. Robbie Bates, last year picked up a big win in the Natties.
He was crazy last year.
So I think there's a lot of expectations for him, along with Robbie Pearson as well. So we should continue to look out for this man's wrestling team. I think the country should be on notice.
Oh, I think the country should be on notice. I think at one point I guess you can quote me on it. At one point, our men's and women's will be both ranked number 1. At one point this year.
I mean,
I can see
if
it.
I remember correctly, the women's already are, but I think we'll get into that in a little bit. But men's team definitely should be up there. We have a very solid program. These coaches make practices fun.
From what I've heard, yeah.
From what I've heard, yeah. Thankfully, I'm up near. I know Myron, you and I share a very similar job. I'm up in the weight room when they're practicing on Fridays, and I've sat in on one of their practices because I was just curious. Sitting in the weight room, you're bored out of your mind for
Facts.
hours on end. I sat in. I don't remember what. I think they were playing handball, and I'm like, this looks so much fun because it's rugby, but playing
Basically.
handball, and they're just tackling each other. I'm like, I don't need pads. Put me in. I'm ready to play this. This looks awesome. And I'm like, the environment that the entire coaching staff of our wrestling area have done an amazing job. I really can't credit them any higher than, oh my God, you guys are too good at what you do.
Oh yeah, they are so good at what they do, and then they brought that over to the women's wrestling program, who was absolutely dominating so far. I guess we can also just jump right into what they got going on because they have 4 wrestlers ranked number 1. Right
Unsurprising.
now.
That's very unsurprising.
It is very unsurprising because like it sucks to say that because of how good they are, and you want to be like, oh my God, like 4 wrestlers ranked number 1, but at the same time we're all, you were realistic a little bit and just knowing that this team is supposed to be number 1. These wrestlers are supposed to be number 1. Even down to the depths of the entire roster, they have a potential chance of all of them getting qualified to go to nationals. Like that's how good this team is.
Yeah, there's without a doubt. I think this is where the natty lies within the wrestling program.
Oh, is the women's?
I believe
Oh, yeah.
I believe in the guys genuinely. I think they'll fight for top 3, but the women's, I would not be surprised if they took it home this year. Their team, I think, is a 3rd freshman, something like that.
I think if I'm not, it's a handful of seniors on this wrestling.
This is
team.
a very young team comparatively for collegiate athletics and just athletics in general. It's a very youthful team with a lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen.
There's 2 seniors on this women's wrestling team.
4.
4?
4.
Oh no. I'm trying to think
4
of them.
seniors.
1, 2. I'm only
Scroll
getting
up. Just scroll up.
There's 4. You can
Scroll
do
up and hit year.
Yeah, hit year. You got it.
No. Right
You got
there. Yeah, there you go. Right there.
Four seniors.
I didn't see
man,
these
it's some of the
2.
best ones too. Oh.
Yeah, we got some Olympian wrestlers in this program, and
Elena.
Elena's
She's unreal.
a senior. We got a couple more that are seniors that have been phenomenal this entire year. But yeah, this is a very young team. So again, they're going to continue to be, if not the best wrestling program in the next 4 years. And then they're just going to get recruits. And I mean, you talk about it, even with Division Ones, we talked about it with Myron. Me and Myron talked about it. They're ranked 3rd in the recruiting class comparative to D1 schools.
Well, like the ranks of Iowa and what's the other school that just took the twins? They took the twin sisters, the Blaze sisters, to I think Arizona State. If I'm not mistaken.
I think it was in Arizona. I think it was in Arizona.
Whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
One of those, like they're both big D1 schools, and we're getting girls to come here to play in the small town of Naperville, and we're D3, where those athletic programs have these massive facilities. But these girls come here and believe in what the coaching staff is doing. So that's a good thing for them on the recruiting trail. Like we talked about before, that's them doing their job and them showing that no matter wherever you go, the pudding's in the pie. And it starts here in that weight room in Murner where it needs to be redone because that building's so old.
Oh, my God.
But it's all about hard work and dedication. And these girls show that and are the testament to that. So I think they're going to continue, like you said, continue this recruiting trail. They're going to be good for years to come.
I think getting into that, I mean, I'm going to keep backtracking to my experience, working. I'm seeing recruits almost every day.
Facts.
Filing through those doors. I remember last Friday, they had a set of twins come through, and they're like, hey, come wrestle someone for guys. They were knocking these guys down for fun. I'm like, we get them whole.
Go have some fun.
My Lord, this program's going to explode because these twins were having fun. And then they came out, they were, drenched, but they were smiling. They were happy. Norton was beaming. If we had those 2 come in, my face would be elated.
Oh yeah.
In other words.
When just those recruits that come in, you also talk about just in general, like if they start coming in and that program starts winning more, boosters. I mean, you just name it, right? Like
It's a lot of things that
a lot of things that could boost this entire campus and this entire athletic facility, and athletic programs throughout. You know, if one team's winning, we're all winning pretty much. That's what it kind of seems like. We're a big family here, anyways, when it comes to NCC athletics. But moving on to another team that, you know, Myron, we may have jinxed a little bit.
Yeah, we spoke highly of them, though.
We spoke highly of the men's cross country team. Went over to nationals. This was in East Lansing, Michigan, over by Michigan State.
They still dominated.
They finished 7th. We may have jumped the gun a little bit and said that they were going to bring home a national championship.
I would have hoped to like one. But
yeah,
hey, 7th.
Yeah,
in a field of a lot of competitors. You're getting people's best at the end of the day. These are the top of the top. You don't make it to nationals and not compete and be at the top. I mean, at the end of the day, the team finished 7th. You had 2 All-Americans. So you still did an outstanding job this year. It's not the outcome you would like, but it's still something to show your effort and that we're right there to re-get a national championship here across country. Yeah,
I mean, even when just looking at just a bunch of other schools that, you know, were in there, the number 2 team, one of the number 2 teams, MIT finished first. They had a score of 82 points. So, I mean, they were you know, they had a lot of runners finish up in the top 5. And North Central, you know, just finished with 265 points. You may be wondering, you know, they had a higher point total. It's like golf, lower score wins pretty much. But they finished 7th, and you can't really knock them. I mean, they were running in snow.
Yeah.
It was really bad conditions.
Yeah, those conditions up in Michigan looked awful.
They looked so terrible. I remember like seeing the a video of like their beginning to run. And it was just a snowstorm.
It was like,
how do you run in that? I don't know how you mentally prepare to run like in short shorts. They look cold. The picture on here on the website. They look cold.
Who's that? Who is that? Real quick, is that
Connor?
That's not Connor.
The James?
No. So Connor is in the middle there in the pinstripes.
Yes.
And then the guy behind him, their names here might be Braden. Might be Braden.
Nah.
Maybe. If not, it might be Nigel.
That's not Braden.
Let's look at Nigel.
We could be wrong here.
We could be wrong here.
We could be wrong. But if you look at this picture, which the picture is up, if you look at this picture, they look cold.
Point being, they look cold.
And for somebody that doesn't love long distance running and even just doesn't like running in general, that's cold.
Raise your hand if you like running. Cool. I think we all agree.
we all agree.
I'm trying to find it. I'm lost.
we all agree here. No one really likes running, but they love running. And, you know, the run for fun sort of thing that Alcarius has started here is something that it won't ever die, pretty much. No. And when you're running for fun, you'll run in cold.
You run for personal best and you're running for fun, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Alcarius is a great guy of like lots of words of wisdom, for sure.
Yes.
I think he's outstanding. And these guys are a testament to that. Like you said, running in the snow is running for personal best and running for fun. And they
get
embraced it.
They get over that mental hump real quick.
Not even a question anymore. It's just, hey, we're just going to run. Snow? What's that?
Yeah, what's that? We'll be fine. But yeah, they finished 7th. So they got the they ended up finishing 7th there. You know, congratulations to them to even making it there. You know, a lot of other teams can't really say that. So congratulations to them making it that far for nationals. Again, they finished first in that Midwest region championship, and me and Myron, you know, we're like, they got this. You know, we can't jinx them.
You were hyping them up.
We were hyping them up. We kind of jinxed them a little bit.
You can only do so much, but I mean, you have to shout out the All-Americans though. I mean, Connor Riss, Andrew Gwymond. I mean, the fact that they're getting All-American is first off really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have many of those that are runners here, and Connor Riss lives on my floor.
Used to live on the floor.
So it's okay. we miss you. Had a very brief conversation with him just in passing. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How was the cold? And he's like, it sucked. But no, he said he had a good time. It was a good way to end his cross country career. Because fortunately, he's a senior.
Yeah.
Doesn't makes me sad. Connor's one of the nicest guys I've ever had a conversation with. Really understands what's going on, really wants the best for this team. And I mean, if I remember correctly, he does track and field. I mean,
he does.
I'm like, if I remember correctly, that sounds right.
So he has that.
He's got time, but
opportunity to try to go win a team national championship, an individual national championship
Absolutely.
of some sort. And I think he's not going to jinx it this time, but he's got a chance.
there is a chance.
He's got a chance.
Typically, a lot of people here that run cross country come over and track and run the long distance races. So there's a good handful of guys, like you said, they can definitely carry the track team into a natty run. So you never know what happens.
Never know. Well, let's move over to our last two sports before Myron gets into football. Men's and women's basketball. We'll start with the men's. They came away with a very close victory over University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, 87-86, which is great because it's a bounce-back victory from the Aurora deficit that they lost by 1. They come back into this game, they beat Whitewater by 1, so congratulations.
I just think Whitewater can't catch a break.
Can't catch a break.
They really can't catch a break.
Back-to-back losses in the same day. You lose in football and then you lose in basketball. How tough is that?
That football game was rough, but that's besides
a
the point.
different story.
We'll get into that.
Let's talk
sometime.
about men's basketball. The Hallowig brothers. They combined for a total of 48 points here.
What was the reference you used? The GOAT?
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
They're definitely going to be a cornerstone for this basketball team this year.
I mean, yeah, it's a dynamic duo, and then you have the rest of the bench that and the rest of the starters that kind of just contribute from here and there. I mean, Nick Schmold had 15 points.
Which is big. He stepped up.
Yeah, very stepped up. John Blumeyer had 6, so they're going to step up. But again, it's all about these two Hellwig brothers. If they're both on their game, North Central has a very good chance of winning every single game that they can if these two guys are on.
Absolutely. I mean, Matt really is just a question because, he's a 5th year. Mm-hmm. 5th, 6th year, something?
5th year.
Something like that.
COVID year.
I'm like, you both would know. I'm young compared to both of you. I mean, you have to give him credit for what he's doing. He's still putting up godly numbers. I mean, yeah, sure, he's had lots of experience under his belt, but at the same time, it's like you'd think you start to slow down. He's like, no,
just keep going.
Just pick up where we left off.
He made 3 threes. With 12 field goals for 38 minutes. Ethan Hellwig, more of a 3-point shooter, had 5.
How long
threes.
is a college basketball game?
60 minutes.
2 halves. 2 halves of 20.
Of 20 minutes?
2 halves of 20.
So basically, Matt played the whole game, but 2 minutes.
Yep.
I know he was tired.
He definitely probably got subbed out at the end of the first half there.
And then coach told him, you're going to play the rest of the game. So
play the
figure
rest.
it out.
But they're up for the workload. They are up for the workload. And again, they're 3-1 right now.
Longevity. You got to think about the knees.
Yeah, that's
longevity. If you have Matt and Ethan both playing almost 40 minutes a game, you're going to kill their legs early. I know you all going to be like, no, they're young. You don't need none of that time management. No, if you all want to make long runs in playoffs, ask any of the top teams in the country. Their players do not play long times in games unless it's a big game. And I think right here, this was a big game to this program and a testament to show that they can compete in every sport here on campus and to show Whitewater, you're not the big bad team that you think you are.
So as of right now, they have a 3-game home stretch. They have Benedictine tomorrow and Tuesday. Then they have Carroll on Wednesday and then North Park on Saturday. So they have 2 CCIW opponents. Maybe workload on those games that are non-conference if you want to go try to win conference. But those non-conference victories are very key when it comes on to later in that year and when you go into the selection show. So they have 3 so far non-conference victories. So that's good. Keep it going. But again, this team is going to go on a stretch here soon for just all straight CCIW opponents, and it's going to be very crucial there. So you may see the Hellwig brothers play 40 minutes again.
I do want to come back to Myron's conversation about overusing Matt, and I want to agree, but there's one problem I have with it.
What's the problem?
Is that the production numbers from the rest of the team don't keep up with Matt.
That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
I mean, Nick Smolt, transfer from St. Norbert, in fairness, had a great game.
Oh, yes.
He had a great game.
Yes.
It's great addition to show what he's made of, what he's able to do on the court, drive in, do all of his fun skills, and then come off with a smile on his face. Nick, great from him. Proud of him. Ethan, 34 minutes, looked really tired when I saw him play against Aurora. That game was awful.
Yeah, his was overtime.
That was
an overtime.
Double overtime.
Overtime.
It was tight the entire time. But I do want to say if Matt cannot I would say restrict him to tops 35 minutes.
35.
To keep him available for the rest of the season, but also show that, hey, my bench can still put up points, because we all know game form or like how many minutes you're playing. Like Brian Johnson comes on, it's just an absolute towering menace.
Yep.
Okay, put him, throw him, get him a couple more up at the rim. Find a different way to get points without physically using Matt, if that makes any sense. I think that's the one downside to this team that I find, but that's coming from a guy who views basketball as, ooh, look, shoot ball in net. But that's how everybody views soccer and other sports, so my opinion may be a little one-sided.
No, I mean, you're kind of right. I mean, Nick Schmaltz coming off the bench so far, hasn't started a game yet.
No.
He's averaging about 7 and 8 points, almost 8 points a game. Same with Brian Johnson. He's almost averaging 8 points a game. Shea Couples is averaging 7.5 points a game. You have John Blumeyer, who's averaging about 4 points a game. So they're not. And then you got Ethan with a 19, and then Matt with 27, almost 30 points a game. Mm-hmm. I think you're right in that sense. It's like, just let's try to find that third guy. We need that third guy. Last year we had Blaze Meredith. We had the Ethan with the Hellwig brothers. First it was just Blaze and Matt, and then Ethan kind of came on the scene a little bit and started getting a lot more minutes, a lot more opportunities to shoot the ball. Started to figure it out, and then it was the Hellwig brothers, and then Blaze, right? So they need that third guy. They need to find that third guy, and they need to find it soon going into the CCIW weeks in those games, in that sort of constant just CCIW matchups to try to get up there in the CCIW play, to try to compete for first place, compete for that second place, so you get that bye and you can go on for that one. But let's move over to the women's basketball. They went up in the face-off against Wisconsin Stevens Point, where they took a loss of 83-51. Right now, they haven't won a game yet. They're 0-4, but they're going into CCIW play soon. And something, again, that we've talked about, Myron, a couple times, it's that second quarter.
The second quarter hurts them the most. With them only scoring 6 points in the second quarter and Stevens Point scoring 25, this is a massive difference in point differential. They were in it in the first quarter, scoring 12 points to 20. I was like, okay, this is not bad. We're in it. Then that second quarter, they fall apart. And then they pick it back up in the third and the fourth, but it's the one quarter that hurts them, like we all can sit here and continue to say. But Allison Pearson held the team down with 17 points with 2 3-pointers in 32 minutes. So she's doing her job, but the rest of the team has to feed off this energy. And I think she has to pull them together. And definitely the emphasis this week should be the second quarter game. Making sure that this disconnect where they're finding in the second quarter, like, what's going on? Let's try to figure it out. I think they can eventually. This is just some growing pains for sure still. I know they haven't won the game, but it's on the right trajectory. But we just got to get over that hump in that first half.
I mean, if you think about it, the two games that they've been very close in, right, a 72-67 loss and a 68-64 loss, they've scored about 15, 17 points in that second quarter. The games that they've gotten blown out in, scored 6 and 8 in the second quarter.
I think it's
the consistency.
That is 100% part of it. I've been to majority of those games on the schedule. Obviously not the really far away ones because, I like my car. For me, it's a disconnect amongst the entire team. It's almost like they're playing in for themselves. There's obviously going to be some teamwork, able to get quick transitions in, and with the times that they are able to get threes in, they look good. But as soon as one thing trips them up, they lose the ball, it all falls apart. It's like they don't know how to react next. And, I mean, I've talked to a lot of people that are just associated with the team, on the team, and a lot of them are like, I have no idea what's going on. And I'm like, that's not good, first off. Yeah. Second off, I mean, there's a couple freshmen that look good. Grace Kiefer, want to shout her out. She looks great. I mean, freshman year, as a start, she's doing great. I think she's averaging something 8-9 points a game. I mean, all things considering, I believe she starts. That sounds right.
Yeah, she starts. She started 4 games. Sounds right. She's been averaging, just about 7.3 points, so about 8 points.
She's doing her job. She's doing what she's asked to do as a freshman, which I'm using the tag of freshman a lot. But with this team, I feel like there's not a lot of standard for the season other than just go and just pat stat. Or stat pad. That's the word I'm thinking of.
There you go.
Words are hard.
Again, somebody that
pat stat.
We're looking at just sort of this team. We still have yet to see El Sutter. You get to see her.
Yes,
4 games there.
Yet.
That's a huge miss there in that starting lineup.
Massive miss.
That is a massive miss. She was the second scorer on the team last year. She dominated when she took over the game sometimes. Her and Allison Pearson was very good together as a duo. But again, this year it just seems like how you said, it seems a little like one moment they get down, they don't know how to respond.
No. Al Sutter is the key to this team. That is a lot to say, especially since I know she's been dealing with some things from soccer season still. She's still kind of, taking a step back and preparing herself. I don't think we're going to see her for at least the rest of the month, if I'm being honest. That's my prediction.
If you want the best from her, you definitely need to give her time to get herself together.
She's played a full soccer season going all the way to this end of the CCIW championship.
Exactly.
She talked about it with us.
Yeah.
How I was like, how is it tough to be like, a dual sport and everything, especially with 2 sports that are right after each other. She was like, yeah, I remember last year she was playing in, a CCIW championship game, and then immediately either like the next day or later that night she's playing in
a basketball game,
and
she's playing in a basketball game, and she was like, it was so like
it's draining.
man.
As a former dual sport athlete who was doing, I had a soccer tournament in the morning, karate tournament in the afternoon. I get it. It completely destroys you. And the fact that she's doing it at this high of a level, I applaud her for that. Like, I'm clapping. But this team misses Al Sutter desperately because whenever she was in transition, she kept the team together. It's like she's the glue that the team is missing right now. And I have a gut feeling that as soon as she gets stuck back into this team and really finds the rhythm, this team will start making games a lot closer and not getting blown out nearly as much.
Yes, and then also has just a better chance of just winning in general, putting in your best players. I mean, not to compare it really much to the NBA, but it's like Bulls with Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, they're terrible without him.
They look awful.
They look really bad without him. And so women's basketball, not having El Sutter there as being a guard there, you kind of need her. Their next game, they face off against Benedictine tomorrow night, and then they face off against Concordia, University of Wisconsin. There you go, got it. Saturday, on Saturday. Then they got their CCIW stretch of games, so they're gonna go into CCIW play. They got to go into CCIW with at least a win.
Yeah,
to have any sort of confidence,
momentum,
Chiefs. Yeah,
like you said, have that confidence. If they can get a win going into that play, and if El Sutter comes back, if they get a win before El Sutter, or if they get one with her, and they have that momentum going in, this women's basketball team could be scary.
Something that I will say is there's a lot of people doubting them right now. A lot of people saying, they're not going to get a win until after the turn of the year, which I'm like, I don't think that's massive. First off, rude. Second off, rude.
Thank you. I agree.
First off, rude. Second off, not totally out of the question, but at the same time, the expectation for this team is to go ahead and just win games. It doesn't matter how you do it, just win them. And with the stretch of the CCIW games starting on what, next week? Next week on the 30th?
Yeah,
next Wednesday. I am expecting at least one of those to be a win. Not really mattering which one it is, but it's going to have to be one of them.
Yeah, it's going to have to be one of them. And so we'll see what happens the next couple of days. Again, next week we'll try to update you to see if they do have that win before that CCIW play. That's what we're kind of hoping for. But Myron, last sport here, talking about your sport.
As always.
You got the playoff beard going on.
It was freezing.
It was so cold.
You just had the playoff beard. Hold on, I got to show everybody. You can see in the camera. Yeah, I shaved my beard.
It's something. I'll tell you that much. It's something.
But
you got the playoff beard going on. You guys just took the dub of 50-0 against Lake Forest. This game was just all defense. First, it was going to be all defense, and then the offense kind of took over. And, the passing game is there. 66 total yards for Lake Forest, 558.
Program record.
Mm-hmm.
It was a dominating performance for the defense. It was. You want to show the committee, you want to show the people that control our fates that we should be able to play home throughout as long as we're playing football. And I think we put that message to show in the country that if you have to come to travel to Benedictine Worley Stadium, you're going to be in for a dogfight all 4 quarters, no matter who's in the game. If it's the 1s, the 2s, or the 3s, you're going to be in there for a dogfight their entire game. And that's a testament to the guys that stepped up after the starters came out and still held this team to 0 first downs.
Mm-hmm.
that's a testament to like our second units are as good as our first units. They can start anywhere in the country, and this is proving that. I mean, Lake Forest was a good opponent. At the end of the day, it may not show that on the stats wise, but they still fought hard every single play, no matter what. I think this upcoming week play Carnegie Mellon. Mm-hmm. This is a game we didn't get to play last year because they forfeited that game. I don't care what no one else.
Further than that.
I'm not going to that one.
COVID.
They were supposed to make the trip all the way out from Pennsylvania. They didn't.
Well, no, didn't
they? Did.
They did.
Didn't they start and then like half their team get COVID and they're like, oh, yep, sorry, we can't play this.
Yeah, so you guys were gonna play. It was gonna be
that day.
Yeah, you guys were gonna play.
And
then, but then COVID ended up happening. So that game ended up getting canceled, and North Central ended up moving on. But now you get the chance to finally face them.
Finally,
they whooped DePaul 45-14.
Yeah.
It was halftime, and we were already discussing North Central and Carnegie Mellon pretty much.
I think that was kind of just the general feeling after halftime is like, all right, so what should we prepare for? What should we look out for?
Well, prepare for Carnegie Mellon. Myron, going in this game, business as usual, pretty much.
Business as usual.
Does everyone do that playoff beard? Or something of some North of playoff beard?
There's a bunch of guys that has started it. I don't know if you all seen our barstool post. D-Lo has the little goatee. He has the face, and he has this middle piece gone. D-Lo has something, if I'm not mistaken, Greeny. You're not going to believe this.
No way
I
did.
I hope he doesn't get mad at me for saying this.
There's no way.
Dan Gilroy cut his beard.
There's no way.
Yeah, Dan
no way Dan
hopped on the train and decided to cut his beard too. I mean, I
respect
hopped on
that,
it,
but wow.
and I cut mine. I told you before,
Yeah.
I would never cut my beard, and I did it for the boys. And this is all of us buying into the program, and this is something like we was just like, let's try it, let's do it, and it's something fun. We're still having fun with this, and we're going to continue to have fun as long as the person above allow us to continue to play together.
I need like every person who did a playoff beard just to stand in a line and take a picture. Just take a team
Honestly,
picture.
Myron, if you can assemble that, send that into the Barstool. I want to see that.
All right, let's try to see what we can do.
We can see what we can do. Just get all the boys that have done a playoff beard so far. Just get them in a group photo. I want to see all the craziness of everybody. It almost seems like you guys. I mean, everyone does like certain playoff beards and things for playoffs. They have fun with it. I mean, you think about just in hockey in general, they grow out their entire beard, so it looks terrible, right? But it's like, it shows the test of how long they've been playing. You have in high school hockey, they do all the mullets.
Oh boy!
And everyone does the mullets in Minnesota. They do that. But I haven't really seen like at least a team here at North Central do something like that with playoff stuff. I mean, playoff stashes people do and stuff like that from here to time. But the playoff beards, just doing the wildness of the beards, is pretty fun.
The soccer team did something very similar to what the high school hockey teams do. There was a couple of them that had shaved and got mullets. Like Aiden Westerberg did it. Looks good on him, in fairness. I looked at it, I'm like,
look good.
That actually kind of works, Aiden. Pop off.
You do not like mullets or something, or what, Myron?
No, it just caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting Aiden to say that.
No, but it's like it just came to mind. It's like I think some of the soccer team did it, but when they decided, hey, let's go for a run in regionals. But I don't know. I don't know why that came to mind. It just did. So,
hey,
thanks.
No problem. I mean, at the end of the day, it's different. Like Jake told me earlier, I said before, it's business as usual. Heading into week 2, round 2 of the playoffs, there was a lot of upsets.
Yes.
Aurora.
If you want to talk about those real quick before we move off of NCC football.
Sure. I mean, do you want to talk about Carnegie Mellon or just kind of business as usual?
Business as usual. Carnegie Mellon. See you when you get here.
Cool. Aurora versus Whitewater. 33-28. Aurora came away with the victory.
Oh my God.
Halftime happened in this game, and it was about the same time we guys were doing halftime. We were during the halftime show. We were watching sort of this game, kind of the stats and stuff of it. And my buddies at Aurora were all like, we're going to get whooped by Whitewater. Like, Whitewater's just going to roll over us. I mean, you guys got Lake Forest first round, and we got Whitewater first round. And it was just like, well, you guys won.
Right. Knocked the powerhouse out.
They were thrilled. their social medias were blowing
Yeah,
off.
social media was blowing up. I mean, when you look at just Whitewater in general this year, we talked about it.
They struggled all year.
They struggled all year long.
I'm surprised. They beat the one team in the country that everybody said they shouldn't have, but now it shows that they showed up to that one day anybody can get beat.
Yep.
And Whitewater, I'm not going to sit here and say they were phonies, but they basically showed up and didn't compete versus Aurora. They thought they were just going to steamroll them, and Aurora was like, no, we're not going to allow you to do that. And they won the game.
And they won the game, and then now they go on and they face Alma.
I think they can beat Alma, too.
I think they can.
Not out of the question.
It's not out of the question, but I do really think that this game is going to be a very close one.
I think this first week of playoffs has kind of just told us if you can beat anybody at this point, because there was not only a lot of upsets, but a lot of really close games, and it came down to the wire.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at Trinity as well. They were a number one seed, and people said they shouldn't be a number one seed, but they're a number one seed. Now they go on and face Mary Hardin Baylor, but they barely won. It was 0-0 at halftime at one point.
Hardin Simmons is Mary Hardin Baylor's biggest competition as well. So if they were able to compete with Hardin Simmons, I think they can do the same thing with this Mary Hardin Baylor's team.
Very much so.
As long as they have that defense that they did against Hardin Simmons, they can run Mary Hardin Baylor. I mean, Mary Hardin Baylor's won off of a Hail Mary. It was Mountain Union.
Field goal. They won off, if I'm not mistaken, they won back-to-back field goals.
Yes, that's what it was.
No, you're thinking, are you talking about the last game?
No, that was Mount Union who won off the Hail Mary pass.
Mountain Union won off the Hail Mary. Mary Hardin Baylor's won off of 2 field goals. They've lost to Whitewater this year. They've been very close. And now they have to go face, if this Trinity defense can figure it out, Mary Hardin Baylor might be in trouble here going into, this the quarterfinals. But then as well as Wheaton.
Wheaton
was winning late.
They were chasing the entire game. PAT field goal you can't take that play off. That play matters so much, and Wheaton has lost on that play twice this year. In the playoffs and week 1 when they played Trinity.
Yep.
Trinity blocked that PAT for them to tie the game, and it came back 10 weeks later to hunt them again.
Yep. Special teams wins ball games.
Turnovers, special teams, and tackling. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you can run, do all this, but if you can tackle someone and you can get the turnover battle, you're going to win every game.
Bethel is now going to face off against Linfield, and then the winner of that game will take on Trinity and Mary Hardin Baylor. If you guys win your game, you'll be taking on either Springfield or
Ithaca.
It's going to be Ithaca, because
I think it's going to be Ithaca.
We're going to look at the Springfield game real quick.
Springfield barely won.
They upset.
They upset Ithaca.
Springfield upset Endicott.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to happen. I look at the score and I'm like, wait, what? That's not right.
But the same thing that we're talking about with Aurora, if they just play them close a couple of possessions early in the game, you get Ithaca maybe a little bit flustered. They have a potential chance of
you know how many brackets Aurora just broke?
Oh, almost every one, I think.
Yeah, I told you our station manager Adrian had Whitewater going all the way, and
broke it.
He texted me afterward. A lot of words that I'm not allowed to say, but along the lines of, I made a really bad mistake. I'm like, yeah, you did, Adrian. Good job.
Yeah, a lot of upsets this year, but again, Mountain Union, Trinity, St. John's, and North Central, all number 1 teams, all continue to move on. We will see what happens next week, and we'll update you next week. Hopefully, maybe positives all around, and hopefully some more upsets with Mary Hardin Baylor, Mount Union,
St. John's,
maybe Aurora maybe being the Cinderella. Cinderella story. Maybe
that'd be crazy.
I would love upsets, because upsets make football so much more entertaining.
Aurora just makes it all the way, and you guys make it all the way.
I would love to see that. The Battle of Illinois.
Dude, in Maryland.
Maryland? Oh, that'd be crazy.
Man, I would be like, no, bring this back to our place.
Just bring it back to
Soldier Field. Go to Soldier Field.
Soldier Field, yeah. Keep it in Illinois.
Exactly.
That'd be dope.
I'll be honest with you. Would save a lot of money.
It would
save a lot of money.
Would definitely do.
I think we're all like,
yeah. It would take a lot of money. That's it for North Central Sports. Congratulations to all the winners. And again, football. Let's keep it riding. Let's keep it going.
Yep.
Business as usual. We'll move on. We'll talk about why you're here.
Yay.
World Cup time. Something happens again once every 4 years. USA is back in the World Cup after 8 years, and then they just took on the Wales team, who's not been in the World Cup since we looked this up before.
1958. Yeah, 1958.
Yeah, 1958. They was a very close game here. Hayden, I'm going to let you take it over to just kind of say they drew 1-1, but we were watching the end of this game. Nail-biter.
So periodically, kind of throughout the day, I wanted to watch it. Unfortunately, I had other conflictions. You know about most of them. I'm going to just look at the first half. We looked really good. Very happy with how we were playing in possession. Very happy with how we were, playing through pockets, playing through different slots, trying to just disorient this Wales defense because they were rock solid the entire game. But they were rock solid. We were probably equal to them. We were very good at just the bare basics, which, you in order to win the game, you have to know the basics. Walker Zimmerman, Tim Ream came in. I knew Walker was going to be good. Tim, I was kind of like, I mean, he's in good form for club, but I wasn't sure about country. He looked great today. Definitely the experience at the back is something that is desperately needed with this team. It's a very young team. It's the youngest in the World Cup. But, oh, man, I'm not disappointed.
Okay.
I said at the beginning the U.S. was going to either get a win or a draw out of this. Should we have won? Yeah, we should have won. But
we should have.
The way it happened was really poor tackle, but it was something that had to happen. And I hate Gareth Bale for that one reason. He's so good.
Yeah, Gareth Bale. I mean, he's playing in his first World Cup. At one point, he was again the highest paid player in the world. He was on top of the world.
There you go.
That's what. Yeah, on
I'm
top
like, I don't
of the
think he was
world.
the top.
I don't think he's ever. A lot of people.
Okay, I should say he was
Ronaldo, Messi. I can go on.
One of the.
He was in the top 25. I can tell you that much.
Hey, top 25 of the world is pretty good to be in.
I mean, I can't say. Oh, he's only getting paid like 25 million a year.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
That's nothing.
Pennies.
But no, it's his first World Cup. And so, I mean, got the pressure on that. I mean, Wales at first, I felt like was very nervous. They didn't want to make a mistake like we kind of were talking about beforehand, before we went live. We were kind of talking about how like Wales just looked like they didn't want to make a mistake, and just it made USA just pressure them constantly. Defensive wise, it just seemed like every time they touched the ball, there was two guys on them. They were collapsing in very good areas. They were not allowing a lot of through balls. They were controlling the possession. I mean, they had possession of 47% of this match. Wales had 33. But the one thing I do have to say is, like, with all that pressure that they only had one on target attempts on goal.
That's one of the really difficult things about this U.S. team that I struggle to comprehend. Mm-hmm. Greg Berhalter expects to play a system that you would play at a club team. He came from Columbus Crew in the MLS before he became the U.S. men's head coach. The system's not working. Defensively, it's working. Offensively, we look slow. We look sluggish. We look bored. Pulisic today was making runs in deep, trying to create something out of nothing. And I'm like, you can't be doing that. Sure, you have Yunus Musa and Weston McKennie using their ball driving ability into the box just to try to bring everything together to open up the wings. But today was not the day to be doing that, especially since 10 minutes of extra time at the end of the second half. That you can tell they all looked dead. And if that's how it's going to be for the rest of this World Cup, because I believe the Qatar-Ecuador game only had 4 minutes. The England-Iran game was, 2 tops?
It's 2. They were also up 6 goals.
Yeah, that was like 6-2. So, yeah. And then the Netherlands and Senegal game had 9 minutes of extra time. It's like, how many? I mean, I'm not able to watch full games because, we're students. And
also, we're not getting up at 3 o'clock.
No,
not at all.
I love soccer. I don't love it that much. I can't justify this much extra time because it's going to make this tournament unbearable. Because I wrote an article for WONC. Go check it out. Self plug.
Go ahead, do it. Go ahead, self plug it.
I said this at the beginning. Literally, first opening paragraph. Some of these players, if they win, like I'm going to use Jared Bowen Declan Rice. Plays for the English national team as one of their starting center mids. If he wins this and he wins every cup competition, so Carabao Cup and the FA Cup in England, which they won't. West Ham's not amazing this year. He has the potential of playing 74 games.
His legs are going to be shot at 100 minutes a game.
And he's 23.
Can you do the math on that?
So 90 minutes a game, 74. That's way too many minutes. Let's just leave it at that. That's beyond unrealistic.
Yeah.
For any player, and I think that's one of the main issues for the player. That's got to be something like 15,000 minutes, something along those lines. Okay, I was wrong. It's 6,600, but still, that is way too many minutes,
especially for being someone that young.
Yeah,
that's 111 hours.
That's
of straight running.
No. First off, no. Second off, I feel bad almost. It's like, sure, it's an honor to represent your country. It's awesome. Great. Woo. But do you realize how much physical damage you're giving to yourself now?
It's ridiculous. I mean, if they would have been playing in the normal
standards.
Standards, time frame or whatever it was. I mean, you're looking at all that in 100-something degree heat, over 100-degree heat, and now they're doing it. At least now when it's like 80.
It's like 80s. It's reasonable.
80s, 90s. It's also a little bit reasonable. It's still hot.
Yeah.
Especially running around for that long.
I think some of the teams, Brazil, a lot of the America's teams, if that makes any sense.
The South America teams.
They're adjusting to it well. Brazil is loving life. Argentina, loving life. Ecuador, loving it.
Why do you think Brazil and Argentina are the two favorites?
That's even besides the point.
Yeah.
These European teams are not dealing with the elements well, and I feel like that's where we're good. They're going to struggle this year. So I would not be surprised if we saw a South American winner. I don't think the U.S. or Canada is going to win it. Just being realistic.
Okay.
But the South American teams have a genuine shot.
Next game for USA is against England.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
England just won 6-2 against Iran, but it was Iran.
I mean,
we'll keep it there.
That's even outside of the point. I mean, Iran was expected to at least get a win against either the U.S. or Wales, because Iran, you look at their team, they've got two players that could really cause damage, Taremi and Jakambash. I know that's a mouthful, but
I'm surprised you got it.
I live soccer, dude.
I know.
It's like a lot of these guys have been in and around. I mean, Osmoon as well has been decent in Germany, but this Iranian team, their attack is great.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you anything else about the rest of their team. I'm being honest. There's no notable names that will be like, oh, hey, I know that guy.
So for USA, they need to get at least a point against England.
Bare minimum. They need a draw.
They need to draw bare minimum. If they can come out with a victory, it's going to be ridiculous. I mean, talk about just Black Friday in general. A lot of people have off on Black Friday. Everyone's going to be watching the game. It's a midday game. It's going to be insane. But they need to get a point at all. And then they need to beat Iran by a lot. Not by a lot, but like a good margin.
It needs to be a considerable win. They need to get some form of a result against England. Doesn't matter how it is. Do I think it's realistic? Because this England team, after beating Iran, looks terrifying. You can definitely tell there are players that love playing for their country but hate playing for their club. Namely one that you and I both share, or at least I share a hatred for. Harry Maguire looked immense today. I got up early enough for this game. He looked immense. He was fantastic. I'm like, why can't you do this for Manchester United, dude? Like, if you did this, I'd be like, you're the best center back in the world. He looked awesome today.
Yeah, I was watching I didn't get a chance to watch that game. It was way early in the morning. But I ended up watching the show in between and stuff. And they were just praising, they're praising Harry, they're praising Kane as well, Maguire. They're praising just a bunch of just English players and just how they were playing. And I was like, that's not what I want to hear this morning when they had Friday's coming up very soon.
No, that game is going to be make or break for the U.S. I mean, Tim Weah's goal today against Wales, nice through ball from Christian Pulisic, and Tim slotted home beautifully. The son of the Liberian president, George Weah, also the only African Ballon d'Or winner. Ballon d'Or, because I know, Myron, you're not the most well-versed. It's like the NFL MVP. It's the best way I can explain it.
There you go.
He's the only one from Africa to ever win it. Everything else has been South American or European.
That's crazy.
That's normal with that reward's given, but that's besides the point. We need a result. It can be a 0-0 nasty draw. Somebody gets their leg snapped in half. There's a boot flying into the crowd. It can be the ugliest game in the world, and all we have to do is get a point. And then we go to and then Iran comes to us. We go to them. Vice versa. It doesn't matter how it happens. And we just need to win. It doesn't matter how you do it. Win.
So
if you
with
keep
that,
if you can keep a draw versus England,
yes,
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And if Wales loses to Iran,
Or lose at least to England.
Or at least
That's all they need to do is lose to England.
Yeah.
If England beats Wales, we've got the shot. Then it's our hand because we got the draw.
But at that point, we'll be facing Iran, and so we would already know our destiny at that point.
At that point, okay.
But if they come away with at least a draw against England in the Black Friday game, they end up going on. Say they go on, they face the Netherlands. Then they did not look very good. A lot of people were praising them coming into this, saying that they were going to absolutely wipe the floor with their group. I turned on the game about the 70th minute mark because I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, World Cup's on. And then I clicked on it and I was like, oh, 70th minute. I mean, it just seemed like Senegal just had a lot of possession when I was watching at the end of the game. And then Netherlands got a couple late sort of pushes and they ended up putting 2 goals away. It was a 2-goal deficit, but realistically it was about a 1 goal.
Yeah, I mean, Sadio Mane got ruled out. He was one of my key players for the Senegal team. I mean, he's runner-up in the Ballon d'Or this past year. He's just been immense his entire career. Southampton has the fastest hat. Does he have the fastest hat trick? Yeah, he does. Minute 29 in the Premier League. Fastest person to score 3 goals in the Premier League. Minute and a half. 90 seconds. Which, that's impressive in its own right.
Wow. Where's the defense?
Non-existent, because that game was awful. The game finished, Southampton was like 6, and the other team had like 1. It was an abysmal game.
Crazy.
But as soon as he got ruled out, I'm like, oh, this Senegal team is going to struggle. Because going forward, you have, Abdoulaye, D.A., Crepin, Diatta, and, who plays on their left wing? Ismaila Sarr plays for Watford. All good players. That's about where it stopped with it. There's no depth with that attack. It's all, hey, look, I'm fast. Vroom.
So with that, so you're just saying, pretty much what you're saying is just going to be Ecuador and Netherlands coming out of that group?
If Ecuador can do what they did against
Qatar,
Ender Valencia looked awesome. He was like really throwing back some serious Tigres vibes from 2017. He looked unreal. I'm like, I like that. I like that a lot. He was giving me some real Brazilian Ronaldo vibes, if you know who that is. I consider him potentially better than Cristiano Ronaldo at finishing, like shooting.
Okay.
Everything else, Ronaldo wins.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
No.
He's a dog.
I have justification on that one. But overall, the Senegal team, in their midfield, amazing. They can dominate midfields. Defensively, they looked good. Edouard Mendy did not look good. That's not a surprise from him lately. He got benched at Chelsea to their backup, who's been unreal this year. He's had a couple iffy moments, but this Dutch team offensively looked almost non-existent until the 70th minute.
yes.
I had brief, fleeting moments. You could disagree with me. If just anybody could disagree with me. But this offense, Vincent Janssen, that is not a name I've heard since 2016. I forgot the dude even existed. Because it's like he broke out of the Euros. Oh, cool. He's going to be the next big thing within the Netherlands. Where'd he go? Turns out he moved to Mexico. Played for Monterrey. So didn't find that out until about last week. So I'm like, so that's where you went. But Cody Gakpo, play him up front, please. Just Louis van Gaal, great coach, former Man United coach, former Bayern, Barcelona, I think.
Yeah.
Former coach of many really great teams. Play Cody Gakpo up front, please. I don't ever want to see Vincent Janssen kick a ball for this team. Because he doesn't play the way Van Gaal needs him to. Gakpo is that quicker, more physical presence up front. You can probably play Janssen with him and then drop Bergwijn, but then you're looking at the bench. You've got Jambi Simmons, who's a 19-year-old. For many soccer fans, if you look back, he's in the Barcelona academy.
Okay.
He was widely touted as one of the best talents in the world. And then he moved to PSG and he fell off the face of the earth, which seems to be a common theme with any PSG player. But
Messi.
Don't.
Ronaldo's my goat, so that's why.
That's a conversation for another day.
Man, y'all gonna get to arguing over it. Not today. Not today. Not today.
But you look at the rest of their attackers. You got Wout Weghorst, you've got Noah Long, and then you have Luc de Jong. Luc de Jong can do a job. Weghorst in Germany was fantastic. As soon as he moved away, he's looked awful. Noah Long has the ego bigger than the Empire State Building. Because dude's like flashy, just very I'm better than you type
Pretty
deal.
much.
And frankly, I would start Luke DeJong next to Cody Gakpo up front and just see what happens. Because you have to experiment with your strike pair. Defensively, they looked great.
They're supposed to be the one of the most like well-rounded teams.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't disagree with that.
And so, like, if you look at just teams are just well-rounded, it's like that's. And if you want to pick sort of that team that has all of it, it's this team. And then people are saying Brazil, but saying Netherlands at least.
I disagree for one reason: the goalkeeping situation. You have a 39-year-old from Ajax who's just come out of nowhere and just randomly got the starting spot. We're like, where did you come from? Who are you? I didn't know who he was until last year. He came out of the blue like that.
Yeah.
And then you have their starting guy, Noppert today, Andres Noppert. He's been floating around as a backup for the last 10 years. And then you have this other guy on the bench, Justin Bilo, who's been widely touted as, well, the Netherlands' next number one.
Yeah.
Why is he on the bench?
Why is he not playing?
Louis, what do you know that I don't know? You tell me, dude, because there's something that I'm missing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Bijlow would be a much better goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Well, he's 24. He's 4 or 5 years younger than their starter today and almost a decade younger than Pasveer. So why aren't you playing him? Play him now. Get him that opportunity. Give him that in. Let's see if he can, spread his talent to the world,
So when looking at sort of at least, everyone's played in Group A, everyone's played in Group B, Group C, and all of them are playing, next couple of days all the way up to Thanksgiving. They'll all at least have a game in. But I had Group A as just being Netherlands and then Ecuador. And then I do want USA, so I had England, USA. But I was going back and forth between Wales and USA, but I just had England, USA. I think Myron probably had the same thing when we were kind of like talking about it and stuff like that. For the rest of the groups, though, that haven't played yet,
Argentina and Mexico.
Strong disagree.
You want Poland?
Poland.
I figured you were going to say that.
People are going to say, "Oh, your last team's Polish." Well, that's even just besides the point. Mexico's team's very similar to the one they had in 2018. So think about it. You get older. You slow
don't
down.
always get better, yeah.
You don't always get better. I'm fully expecting Guillermo Ochoa to have another blinder like he does every World Cup, it seems like. So that's kind of just what I'm expecting. But Poland, on paper, looks better.
okay,
In gameplay, if their attack can finally work together, they will be scary. Because their midfield looks good. I believe they have Szczesny in this team. And if Szczesny's in the team, this team could be really good.
I almost had a coin flip this one between Mexico and Poland. Because I feel like, again, it's just like a lot of other groups that it's going to come down to. I feel like it's going to come down to those two facing off against each other.
Yeah,
just like today, how it was Wales and USA.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow is going to be Mexico versus Poland, which is going to be a very crucial game.
Very
the
much
winner
so.
of that game, if there is a winner, could be a draw. But I'm saying if there is a winner, that winner is probably going to take second place and move on to the next round. Group D, Australia, Denmark, France, Turnish. I mean, I picked originally Denmark and then France.
See,
France is like in like a turmoil right now. There's a lot of things going on with France.
I'm about to rip France a new one. They aren't getting out of the group.
They're going to continue the
World Cup curse.
Yeah, the World Cup curse.
It's so World Cup curse. For those of you for anybody that really doesn't know, I don't remember when this started exactly. I don't have an exact date,
either.
but I can use an example. 2014. So 2010 World Cup, Spain won it. Really great goal. Andres Iniesta. Woo, celebrations. Great. Next World Cup rolls around in Brazil. And Spain gets in their group. I believe they finished last. They finished last in their group, and everybody's like, what just happened? And then, okay. You know what happens. Germany goes on, wins 2014 World Cup. Mario Götze, probably one of the most famous goals that anybody can remember in recent history.
Still have my Germany shirt. Yep.
I still have that. I have that goal framed in my room because I'm like, that was cool. 2018 rolls around. Germany fighting for their life, finishing third in the 2018 World Cup in Russia. They ended up sneaking. Was it a win against Sweden?
I think it was
a win against Sweden. It was a win against Sweden because it was a Toni Kroos free kick. I remember it very vividly. It was a curler into the top right corner, and everybody went ballistic. And they still didn't make it out. I'm like, this World Cup curse is real. And I think France is starting to face the brunt of it, of how many injuries they've had. Karim Benzema just got called out. N'Golo Kante ruled out. Paul Pogba ruled out. Prince-El Kimpembe ruled out. They're having a lot of young guys come into this tournament and expected to perform to world champion quality.
You know what's crazy? You say, when did it start? 1998 was the first time it ever happened. And you know what team you were just talking about? It happened to them. It happened to France in 1998. They didn't make it.
I might be onto something.
They didn't make it out in 2002.
Well,
I might be onto something.
Here's the thing. If France was the one to start the curse, can France be the one to break the curse?
You know, valid point. But still,
but with all their injuries, I do think you're right. I just had them.
France is going to struggle
sneaking in over Australia and
so the predicted 11 on this app I use, it's called FUTMob. They have Lloris in net, Jules Koundé, Daoud Upamecano, and Lucas Hernandez at the back.
I applaud you every single time you say every name right.
Oh, there's some of these get better. In the midfield, Benjamin Pavard, Alren Tuchemeni.
Okay.
Adrien Rabiot, Theo Hernandez, Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe. Everybody knows that name by this point. And Olivier Giroud. It's not a bad team. Genuinely, it's not. France is loaded with talent, but still.
So all those injuries and everything, and then certain guys are being out, you know.
I will say, if Mbappe gets injured, France is done.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, Giroud's good, Griezmann's good, but they're very inconsistent. Mm-hmm. If Mbappe is out, France will not succeed.
So you don't have France moving on.
I have their opponents moving on in the first round.
Denmark and
Australia. I said that purely as a joke, but then I started writing it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to roll with it. We're going to see what happens.
Myron?
I have the Australians and the Danish going through.
Yeah, I'm Australia and Denmark. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm there. I don't think France.
He's writing it.
He's writing it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give France to break their own curse that they started. It is their fault that everybody else doesn't make it now.
Exactly.
But like you said, you just named a bunch of key people that are hurt. That this France team needs them to step over that hump to get back into the 16 playoff 16. But yeah, I'm gonna go those two of my top two to go in.
Denmark's winning it. That's not even a question.
And then you have Group E.
Oh, I hated ranking this group because I sat and stared
Spain,
at my laptop.
Japan, Germany, and is that
this one tough?
Costa Rica, Germany, Japan, Spain.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica's finishing last.
I have Germany and Spain. I just had Germany and Spain.
I feel like,
but I've been given a lot of thoughts to Japan and flipping them to second.
I've had the same thing. So it's
Germany's winning this group, by the way.
Germany's going to win the group. The team that Hansi Flick's brought through, by the way, love him as a coach, rate him very, very highly. He's gonna win the group. Germany look unstoppable, especially Jamal Musiala hitting the form of his life. I think he's 9-6 for the year in the Bundesliga, in all competitions. 15 goals contributions, which is unreal. Just starting off, and then the team that they're building around him, Mario Götze comes back to haunt Argentina. I'm like, please, Germany, Argentina, please give me that. I mean, it won't happen, but
yeah,
I would love that. Mario Götze comes back. Thomas Muller comes back. Manuel Neuer dealing with skin cancer, unfortunately.
Wish him all the best.
Dealing with wishing him really all the best. He's one of the best, probably of all time. A lot of people would argue he's best of all time. I would argue he's best of all time. Germany's going to make it through. Japan has an outside shot. Would not be surprised if they got, because they just look good. Really, just
it comes down to that Japan versus Spain game. Another group where it just comes down to those games.
Spain, if Luis Enrique can coach Spain to at least a draw against Germany, they're in.
Yes,
that's all they need is a draw against Germany. They're in. But I don't have a lot of hope for this team. Mostly because Luis Enrique kind of said, hey, David Gea, you can go screw yourself real quick. Made me angry. So I have a little bit of bias, but I don't think Spain's going to do it.
You think Germany?
I think it's going to be another year before we see Spain really thrive again.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Germany and Japan.
I'm going Germany and Spain.
I'm going to say Germany, Spain, but I think we might have to wait another year.
For Spain to get over that hump and kind
of really
get going?
I think they need to wait for the Barcelona midfield to grow up, per se. I mean, Pedri, he's only 20, one of the best midfielders in the world, arguably. Javi growing into his shoes. Was it Nico? Nico.
Yeah.
Still growing into his shoes. We've got time.
I'm gonna start you off with Group F before I gotta go make a quick run. All right. Belgium. I'm gonna go Belgium here, and I'm gonna go. I don't know if Canada. I think Canada makes it out of here, but yeah, Belgium and Canada for me are gonna make out of Group F.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, Jake, I want to hear your thoughts before I just rip everybody apart. Be like, you're all wrong.
I got Belgium winning it.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to go with Croatia.
Okay.
Over Canada. Because I think that there's certain players in Canada that are definitely going to try to thrive, and they're going to need them to thrive to kind of move on. But for Canada and Croatia, it's a real coin flip. I want to go Croatia. I'm going to go with Croatia because I feel like they're going to do better in that game against Canada. I feel like they're going to have a chance to at least get a 1-0 win or just a potential late goal at the end to kind of seal that deal against them. I just don't trust Canada in a crucial game yet.
Oh man, you've just really made this hard now. Because you do make a good point. Canada hasn't really faced off against too many good teams yet. I mean, qualifying, they blew everybody out of the water.
Yes.
Getting through CONCACAF, proud of them. Canada, very young, quote unquote, team. At least the good talents they have right now. Well, considered good. I mean, you make the national team, you're obviously good at something. Alistair Johnson plays in the MLS, probably one of the better right mid / right wing backs at the moment in the MLS. Jonathan David plays for Lille. I would love him at Man United, but that's besides the point. Alphonso Davies, household name. A lot of people know who that is. Very famous on TikTok, just social media in general. Very elevated population.
Doesn't he stream on Twitch?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He streamed the CONCACAF for the game where Canada ended up qualifying, and he was in tears, and it was something nice to have. Something you get to see it from the view of a professional player. And it's like, that's actually kind of cool. But I have Canada going through. Luka Modric is old.
Yeah.
He's 38 now, I believe. I mean, he's still really good.
Yes.
I'm never going to doubt his quality ever in my lifetime. But your knees only last you so long. Brozovic can do a job. Kovacic can do a job. Their forwards aren't amazing. Defensively, not amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's going to be a toss-up between Canada and Croatia. Belgium's going to get the go-ahead.
Yeah.
Or we could see an upset and Belgium gets knocked out. Wouldn't surprise me because this Belgian team's getting old. They were once touted number one for, 2 years? 2-3 years, something like that?
I think it was 2. I think it was
2 years. And they were touted number one. Kevin De Bruyne, still unreal. Lukaku,
yes.
As long as he gets in goal-scoring form, can be good. Eden Hazard. Is he back? Oh, did he get called up? I think he did.
I don't remember.
I think he got called up. We're going to do a quick fact check here.
Welcome back.
How do you feel?
Oh, yeah. I'm all right. I did my job, though. I had to go make a quick phone call, so it's all right.
So Eden Hazard did get called up. Charles de Keltier did get called up. It's like their big young guy that's coming through. Defense, I mean, you have your two solidified veteran center backs, Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld. Toby's fit. Jan is not.
Yeah.
Makes me sad. Then you have the goalkeeper of the year in Thibaut Courtois. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't be surprised if Belgium made it through. But at that group, I consider to be the group of death. Because
Group F?
Outside of Morocco, who can make an outside shot,
all three of these have a chance.
all three of these guys have a shot of going through.
Yeah. Myron, you didn't hear. I went with Belgium and Croatia. Hayden went with Belgium, Canada.
Okay, I like that.
Go maple syrup.
You know it.
Group G. Real easy. Brazil's going to win it.
That's not even a question.
Not even a question. And then the rest. I want to go. I have a feeling about Switzerland. But I also have I don't know.
This one. Siberia.
Siberia? What's Siberia? I'm going Siberia.
I'm just going to unplug my mic here. Everybody have a great day. I am clocking out.
Dude, I didn't want to say anything, but that was too easy.
Let me come back. I'm back.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go support Siberia in this World Cup.
My
go
bad.
support the White Wolves.
My bad.
No. I'm gonna be honest. Cameroon, not that great of a team anymore. We're gonna kind of bring it back to some seriousness because Jake's trying not to completely burn out laughing. Just do it, man. Just
Okay.
But I'm gonna be realistic. Serbia or Switzerland have an outside shot. Either one. Both teams are, in my opinion, well matched. It's gonna be the matchup between them of who gets through. Whoever wins the game, because somebody's gonna win. Switzerland, outside chance. Chicago, they have a Chicago Fire player,
which is pretty cool.
Xherdan Shaqiri. So I mean, that's probably the only bonus to me saying, "Hey, go Switzerland." Serbia, I just really like the way they use their attackers because they're all very tall and they're all really good. So I'm gonna say Switzerland purely for the fact that we have a Fire player on there.
I'm saying Switzerland as well. Saying going with Brazil and Switzerland.
Going Brazil and Serbia.
Oh man, are you sure it's not Siberia?
Are you sure? Not Siberia?
It's not Siberia. It's Serbia. My bad.
If they happen to make a run, that's gonna be.
I mean,
Myron's gonna get a shirt. Myron's gonna get a shirt. Say,
I'll get Myron a shirt if Serbia make it to the quarters.
Bet.
I'll shake on it. There you go.
There we go.
I'll shake on it.
You've all seen it.
It's all live. Group H.
Oh boy.
The last group here. I just want to put Portugal just through because I really want a potential chance of Argentina versus Portugal and Ronaldo versus Messi, their last World Cup. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be cool. The Louis Vuitton sort of thing. A lot of people are kind of linking that stuff. Louis Vuitton case around the trophy, and Louis Vuitton also posted a picture of
Messi and Ronaldo. Did you know
Messi
they took
Ronaldo.
that at separate times?
Yeah, they did.
I found that out. I'm like, wow, that's really
cool
good editing.
But yeah, they started doing that, and so a lot of people are linking some stuff with that. I don't think that's really kind of a thing. I know like FIFA's kind of corrupt, but not that corrupt.
No comment.
Portugal. I'm gonna go with them, and then I want to go with Uruguay.
Ghana, not that great. I mean, I can only tell you a handful of players.
Yeah.
Thomas Partey, probably the main one. Plays for Arsenal. One of probably the best powerhouse midfielders in the league right now. South Korea, Heung-min Son, I believe is fit. If he is, South Korea is going to be that dark horse that's just going to be there to mess you up. If he's not, there's not going to be much they can do. They've got a handful of other players. Hwang Chang, or Hwang Kwan Chang, plays for Wolves. Hasn't really been existent for them this year. The Wolves have just been awful this year.
Oh my goodness, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but if you all can hear them,
I was about to say, I'm looking at Jake over here. And I'm like, do I make a comment on that? I don't think I'm going to.
I don't know if you guys can. There's just people upstairs.
They're screaming, and I know exactly who it is too.
We know who it is.
Portugal and Uruguay. I mean, in that order. Uruguay has Suarez and Cavani coming back for their final World Cup. It's going to be good.
Yeah, they want to make at least a run to that 16.
It's just a matter of will Suarez's knees hold up.
No, I'm going Ghana and Portugal.
Okay.
That's nice. There's no.
I got nothing for you because that group's just kind of.
It's just a coin flip. I feel like from everyone down. I know Portugal's going to make it. Whether they're going to win the group or going to be second, they're going to make it either way.
They're going to make it. I mean,
it's just everyone else is kind of coin flip there. So we kind of gave our predictions of who's going to make it to the knockout sort of rounds and these round 16s and stuff. Who do you have winning, Hayden?
What color is my sweatshirt?
Is it Brazil? Yeah.
That's why I wore the sweatshirt today. Thought about it. Brazil, they just have the best squad. This is going to come down to who's got the better squad.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil, if you looked at what they did in their qualifying, they ripped apart teams.
Yes.
Like, it may have only been 2-3-0, but then you look at the stats and you're like, oh my God. The scoreline doesn't show it, but they ripped these guys a new one. And it's Brazil. Sure, some of the players that they called up, Richarlison, shouldn't have gone. But
they have so much depth that even certain guys that didn't make it.
You look at the depth chart, they look so good. Like, that team looks terrifying. Little bias, Anthony, Fred, Casemiro, all from Man United. I'm going to keep bringing it up. Big Manchester United fan here. All made it. Very proud of them. Puts definitely a big smile, especially about Anthony. It's been immense for us. Casemiro finally came to the United squad. It's been That's why he's the best in the world. Let's put it that way. And then Fred's kind of just been there, but I love Fred because he's Fred. But defensively, Dani Alves, 39 years old, oldest player in the World Cup.
Yeah, wow.
Found that out. Thought that was really cool. Household name for the last 20 years. He's played Sevilla, Barca, Juve, PSG. What does he play now? Pumas?
Yes.
Pumas. In Mexico. Brazil, all they have to do is win. It sounds ridiculous. All they have to do is win.
Yeah, they just have to play soccer, and that.
Wow. Yeah. It's just that simple. Just play the game, guys. Yeah. No, they're too technically gifted. They're too physical.
I just love their depth.
They're just love their depth. Good. They're going to be amazing.
Yeah, I just love their absolute depth that they have, and that's why I think they'll go super far. But Myron, there's a lot of teams here that you can choose.
Think wisely, sir. No, I'm not telling you to pick Brazil. I'm just telling you, think about what you say. Mm-hmm. So I might tell you you're wrong.
England's got a chance. Argentina's
okay. We're not going to go with England. We're just going to.
No,
I was just going through all the groups.
Argentina.
Okay.
Yeah, Argentina. Messi's last World Cup.
Yeah.
My dream scenario would be, again, Argentina versus Portugal.
No.
There'd be a dream scenario for, I think, for some soccer fans, for some football fans.
Argentina, Brazil. Tell me otherwise.
I think it's going to be Argentina, Brazil. I kind of already picked this. I did the whole bracket challenge thing. Yeah. I had Brazil winning.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm going to continue that. But I do want to throw in that if it's not Brazil,
it's Argentina.
It's Argentina.
I'm in the exact same boat. I'm like, I may be a Ronaldo fan for very obvious reasons. But I can't deny what Messi has done has been nothing but spectacular.
And when he plays with Argentina, he's
good, but my concern is group stages, he looks good. Where does he go in the round of 16? Or in the knockout rounds?
Doesn't really.
He doesn't show up.
No.
I think that is going to be Argentina's downfall again. That's why I have a feeling they're going to rely a lot more on Di Maria. It's also his last World Cup. He's mid-30s. We'll just leave it at that because I don't have I think he's not. Is he 34? No, because he was 26, then... Oh, no, he is 34. So Son of a gun.
So here's the thing. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
If Argentina wins their group,
yeah,
and Brazil wins their group,
yeah,
they'll meet up in the semifinals.
That would be such a nice semifinal.
It's a semifinal game. Okay. Winner of that game is going to win the World Cup. Let's just go with that.
Yeah. Who
I think we can all three of us can agree on it. I'm looking at the bracket right now.
I'm trying to think of the bracket in my head, and I'm like, that'd be a fun semifinal.
USA happens to get second and then somehow beat the Netherlands, they'll go on to face Argentina in the quarterfinals.
And they gonna get.
I love your optimism. First off,
I love it. Just
I love your optimism.
They're gonna be sitting right with us on the couch watching them play.
Yeah, we're gonna have all of them. We'll have Weston. We'll have Joe. We'll have Matt. We'll just be like kick around the couch. Be like, go every other country in the world. You know,
we didn't do it.
No, I've said this from the get go. Track it back to the USA. Even if we don't win it, we've got 4 more years before and then everybody comes to our house. Yes, we host next year with Mexico and Canada.
Next
2026.
So all 3 countries are hosting.
Yes, that means all 3 get automatic bids, at least to my knowledge.
Cool.
Which that will be fun.
Do we know yet the cities?
Yes, they've all been confirmed. I just don't have the list in front of me. I can tell you Chicago's not one of them.
No, Chicago's not one of them. Atlanta's one of them.
Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah,
it's one of the most beautiful stadiums in the country.
If the Bears do get a new stadium here,
they've been locked in.
Yeah. That's why. Why do you think they were pushing for a stadium for so long earlier this year?
Yeah.
Because if they got confirmed for the stadium, I think they would have gotten it.
We would have gotten it.
We would have gotten it if they confirmed the stadium, but then they didn't confirm it. And it's
the new stadium is expected to have 75, 80,000 people, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So that's
average World Cup sizes.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, Argentina or Brazil. That's who we kind of think.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. Who do you think? Is there a third team here?
Germany? Question mark.
Really?
I'm saying that in a high pitched voice because it's like I want them to do well, but they have a much younger core than what they're used to. A lot of household names that you've probably never seen before. I'm trying to think. Armel Bella-Kotchap. I didn't know the name until last year.
So what we're pretty much saying, I apologize, but what we're pretty much saying is that the left side of the bracket just going to have a winner. Because if Germany wins their group, which we all saying that they should, they will face first face off of somebody first hand, but they'll probably win that game. They'll face Brazil next.
Yeah.
And then if they win that game, they face Argentina next.
Yeah.
And if they win that game, championship.
Sure.
Just to let you know.
No, my brain just kind of half-tuned that out. I'm being fully honest. That's like, I know Brazil's going to win it. I know Argentina's going to have an outside shot, but I want Germany to have an outside shot too, just because it's Germany and they've gone through some stuff. Their national team's a mess.
So, last thing here before we get into other segments, or at least our, the big three, little three, potentially see how long this goes. Golden boot.
I hate when I get asked questions like this.
Golden boot.
Oh man. Well, obviously too early to tell right now.
It's very too early to tell. This is a prediction. This is who you think could potentially do it. A lot of people were saying, I should say actually biased people are saying for English people that Harry Kane's got a shot.
I mean, all the big names have a shot.
Yeah,
Lewandowski,
Messi,
Kane, Ronaldo, Messi, all of them have a shot.
Yes.
I have a feeling it's going to be an outsider. Because, I mean, it's sure, Ronaldo's going to be like, I want it. Because is in his latest interview. I don't know if you've read it.
I have. I've seen it.
I know you probably haven't, and that's okay. Basically, Ronaldo's just spat on everything. If that makes any sense. He's just been, whatever comes to his mind comes out of his mouth.
He has no filter. Huh?
He took a dump on Manchester United.
He didn't take it on Manchester United specifically. He took it on the Glazers. That's besides the point. Golden boot, though.
But he said that if he faced off against Argentina, he gave a hint that it would be his last.
He said if he faced off against Argentina, it was 2-2, and he scored the final goal in like the 94th minute. He said, "Yeah, I'm done."
Yeah, he says, "I'm done with soccer."
I watched the entire interview.
Imagine they gonna get that to happen.
Golden boot. Are you ready for this? You sure?
Probably not.
Neymar.
But isn't he technically a big name guy?
I've thought about it. Changed my answer last second. I had Lewandowski winning it.
Okay.
Outside country. Thought, go somewhere. Changed my mind. It's gonna be Neymar. Neymar just this season for club probably been the best player. Arguably.
For PSG.
Arguably one of the most important players this season. Obviously, PSG is full of household names that as soon as you watch the team once, you're going to remember those names. And all you have to do is, oh yeah, that's the team Messi plays for, right? That's all people need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Messi, 14 for 14 this year, already met his record from last year.
Yeah.
And it's November. So, could be him. But Neymar has just been one of the main providers, one of the main key links, goal scorers. It's going to be Neymar. It's going to be like 6-7 goals, nothing too crazy, but it's going to be Neymar.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be like, I'm trying to think here.
I'm fine.
Because I don't want to.
Been fighting a cold for like a month, dude.
I don't want to say
on God.
Messi or Ronaldo. I really don't. I don't want to say Mbappe. I don't want to say Kane either.
That's the problem. It's going to be one of them.
It's going to be one of them.
Wayne Rooney still playing?
I want to do.
You're a decade behind, buddy.
Like 10 years.
What?
Yeah. He asked if Wayne Rooney's still playing. I'm like, you're a decade behind, buddy.
Wayne retired. Like, yeah.
Wayne retired 2019, something like that.
You know what? It's going to be one of them.
He came back, coached for a bit for Derby County.
I think he still is coaching.
He is still coaching. He coaches one of the MLS teams, DC United.
Yep.
Nice.
Are they any good?
No.
They got a household name though as a coach, so
that's about all they got.
Yep. I'm gonna go with Messi.
Okay,
I'm going with Messi. I couldn't not just pick one of those guys because it's gonna be one.
It's gonna be. That's the problem. It's like I want to say like, oh, it's gonna be Enner Valencia, but it's not. Like Enner Valencia, they've had their one game. He had the one game. All you do is get a hat trick, and he had the gold boot. But unless he somehow scores another,
Lewandowski is plus 4,000 odds. By the way, he's
really
down there. Yes.
Wow.
He is down there.
I mean, to be fair, that's why I said if the attack gels for Poland, they're going to be dominant.
Myron, who's your MVP?
Ronaldo.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, boys.
I'm
not gonna make this hard. I'm gonna make this very simple. I don't really watch soccer. I'm just going with the household names here.
yeah, that's why I'm
Yeah,
not
but
arguing with
it's
you.
also like it could be, especially with their group that they have.
Now, I'm going to ask a reverse question more just to you.
Okay.
Goalkeeper of the tournament. Golden Glove. Just to throw a name out there at this point.
I can't think of the name of it.
What club does this person play for? Do you know? What color is their jersey?
I want to go with the dude from Germany.
That's helpful. Neuer?
Yeah,
It's not going to be Neuer.
but it's not.
I'm going to say whoever the starter is for Brazil. Because it could be Ederson, it could be Alisson.
I think it's going to be the starter. And I want to say him. I want to say the guy from Germany, just because I want.
You want Neuer to.
Yes.
You want Neuer to do well, which
Yes.
realistic makes sense. Portugal not gonna they concede too much.
No.
Argentina they concede too much. Jordan Pickford no.
But
no.
you are right though. I feel
It's
like
gonna be one of the Brazil keepers.
it's going to be one of the Brazil, just because if they also go far, right, they go on to win it. They're going to give up maybe a goal, maybe a game, and that's it. Like of how they
Yeah.
it's going to be a goal a game.
Well, in order to get the Golden Glove, you need to keep clean sheets. So that's step one.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they're gonna like win and how good they are and how dominant they are and how their depth is, and if they make substitutions, they're gonna make substitutions with guys that are going to be starting on other countries, right? Like,
I mean,
Courtois
has an outside chance. I mean, goalkeeper of the year. I'm going to just start there.
Yeah,
Has an outside chance. Lloris, I don't know who Argentina's goalkeeper is. I think it's Rulli.
yes,
Yes, Geronimo Rulli. Oh no, it's Emiliano Martinez from Aston Villa.
Yeah,
See, look at that. I'm racking my own brain. Netherlands. I'm just counting them out right now. It's gonna be one of the Brazil keepers. That's where I'm ending that.
yeah. I mean, because they're gonna.
There's so many questions to this World Cup right now that I have no answers to for once.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's gonna be whoever team wins it.
Yeah.
And I think if it's gonna be Brazil, it's gonna be Brazil.
Fair enough.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll get there come December 18th.
Yeah,
That's gonna be such a fun day. I'm not moving my butt from my couch.
Myron, I don't know if you have anything else
No.
for today. It's all a bunch of soccer. It was World
No,
Cup
that's
time.
perfectly fine with me. I'm not gonna lie. This episode was a lot about soccer. I learned a lot. Hayden, I definitely appreciate you coming on here talking soccer with us today. No doubt, I've learned a few things. I learned a few things about different countries that the USA do suck.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's just how it is for the next couple of years.
But I think long term we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate you coming over here and helping me and
course.
Jake, because I know Jake doesn't know a lot either, but he knows enough. He knows a lot more than I do.
He knows enough to have a conversation.
Yep.
And I just
That's all
sat
that
here and
matters.
didn't pay attention.
Exactly.
That's all that matters. Hayden, you'll definitely probably be on some point talking football, talking.
I know enough about other sports that
Other
I could be
sports.
like, ooh, he passed the ball into the basketball hoop on the tennis court.
We also may have you on at the end of the World Cup, just to give you the reactions of everything that has happened.
We'll cross that line when we get there.
We'll cross that line when we get there. But yeah, I guess we don't have anything else. Myron?
Okay.
So,
Nope, not for me.
Myron, would you like to continue the streak of ending every episode?
And that's a wrap.